What's going on, YouTube and cryptocurrency family? My name is Harry and I'm the Crypto Vet, and thank you for tuning back in. Sorry that everything behind me looks kind of weird. I moved my office into the main area so I could have more room, that way we could do more of the Twitch streams and everything. But I appreciate everybody liking and subscribing. I appreciate it so much. If you haven't, please hit that like button. If you don't, hit the subscribe button and tell me why you don't like me in the comments. I'd really appreciate it, and thank you for all the thoughts and everybody. I was in North Carolina helping my mom out, but I'm back now in Texas, so hopefully I probably won't be going back for about another week and a half, but I'll try to keep the videos coming out, or at least have some pre-recorded content out to go from there. So let's go ahead and get started on CoinMarketCap. Today we got a little bit of mixed signals. We got a little bit of red, a little bit of green. Bitcoin's been having some trouble getting back up. We have had a couple days of a little bit of pumpage going on, but right now we're kind of sitting at neutral, waiting on some stimulus talks, which I'll get into here soon. As far as our biggest gainers, Uniswap is up 6% to 350. PumaPay is up 10%. I did look into PumaPay. The reason why we had such a ridiculous pump into that, it was actually the whole thing was moved. So in that case, it looked like the supply went to zero and then went back up again. So thus you had, hundred thousands of percent up. So, but other than that, I would still just watch out on those while things are going around. And if we see the biggest losers for today, it looks like Ren and Zcash. But still nothing compared to huge 30-40% moves that we're used to. So as we get into today, let's go ahead and start with the Bitcoin futures, CME futures. Most people already know that we have a gap right here, and this gap is the one that's causing all the FUD. Everybody's scared. The more I look into CME gaps, it comes down to this: there's nothing that says it has to come down and fill it. The thing that makes it come down to fill it is people's mind and their psychology in the market. Because if you're worried that it has to be filled in your mind, you're not going to say long, right, until that gap is filled. So that uncertainty right there is, in essence, why it kind of has to fill. So, if this took off today and never came back down, and we say we hit 20,000, well, there'd be less worry about the CME gap if we hit 20,000 and held it there for about a month. But since we're so close right now, it's really, really tough for people to just long the shit out of Bitcoin if we have this gap here. But the next problem is we have another one right here, right below where we're at. And this one is starting at, looks like 11,340-ish and goes all the way down to 11.1. And 11.1 is where we had that really, really, really strong support, as well as really, really strong resistance when we broke through it. So I definitely think that we will fill this here in the next little bit, and I will bring up some charts to show you why. Here in the daily for Bitcoin, we have our trend lines that we've had before, all the way back from our pandemic dump, and then our strong resistance, which has been the whole course of Bitcoin. Now, right here, we were struggling on the daily, the light blue line exponential moving average, but we've been staying above the weekly exponential moving average, which, if we went all the way back to 2017, was a key point. Bitcoin would come, it would touch the 21 or 20 weekly exponential moving average, and it would bounce up in the rally, and it was very, very healthy. It would hardly ever go below it, and if it did, it didn't stay there long. So it's still very bullish. We've broken out of that trend, which you could see on this pump right here, and this is where we've been in since August. All right, so where do we go now? Well, that is a wonderful question. Right now, until we have talks about either a vaccine, stimulus money, some sort of progress in the world and market, I just think it's going to be really hard for Bitcoin to decouple and do anything on its own when there's just so much worry right now. So my guess here is that we're going to stay inside this symmetrical triangle. And until we get talks of stimulus, it's going to either trade sideways or bounce down. There's so much buying power all the way through. Let me pull up the VPVR for you. That's everybody's favorite indicator. And if we just put it right here, we're on the daily chart. We have our 10.403 as well as down here at 92.10. There's a lot of support. So we have a little bit of a gap here right below 10, but we would have to fall through that pretty fast with some bad news, in my opinion, because there's nothing but good things going on right now with Bitcoin and cryptocurrency. Even the little negative things like crypto derivatives being outlawed in the UK starting January 1st, that didn't say they're outlawing crypto. They're outlawing derivatives, which, if you hear any YouTuber out there, for experienced traders only. And the reason why is because you'll go in there with 1,000, you'll follow one person, and you could easily lose all your money if you don't understand that how the liquidation price works, and how, you know, the way that exchange makes money is by you not making money. Okay, so, you know, that's not really a bad thing for the crypto market. So all of this publicity, all this news is very, very good for cryptocurrency in general. So now we have all this news and we want to know where we're going to go from here. Well, on the daily right now, it looks like we didn't even quite come up to touch that 11.8 that I thought we would. So will we go down or up? Everything right now is kind of mixed signals, and I'm going to go over those mixed signals. So right now we have declining volume. We didn't really have a volume backed breakout here to push us, so, you know, it's not really a true breakout yet. If we look at the RSI and I scoot back here, we'll move to the 4-hour to kind of show where these little hidden divergences and everything are being seen. If we start right here, I drew a line down at 40 on the RSI because every time we got close to this since back here, right there, we've usually had a good little bounce until we were here where we saw it as resistance. So I've been really watching this 40 mark because we seem to touch it for a second and then go off. But the reason I'm paying attention to the RSI right now is because right now we currently have a uptrending price. So we had a high and a higher high, but if we come to the RSI, we have a high and then a lower high. So this is a bearish divergence, and all this is saying is there's most likely a chance for a trend reversal or sideways trading here versus a pump at this point, because our RSI is going down but our price value is going up. The next thing that we have is we had a bearish cross, and this is on the 4-hour, and we kind of said no, picked it up, but then we got rejected, and now we are coming back down. So this is two bearish technicals here. The only real bullish technical we have is that we are above our moving averages, and we also have a lot of volume to support us at these different prices above key resistances. So what do I think is going to happen here right now? Personally, I think we are going to trade sideways for at least another day or so, while everybody waits to see if Nancy Pelosi and Trump can stop arguing like little fucking kids. And during that time, we will just try to trade sideways. The thing is, the last time I saw this little pump up a little bit and then we were waiting was right here. And you can see we pumped up and then almost like a nice little head and shoulders here. Oh, that's the wrong damn one, I thought. Let's see. So I can help visualize this. Alright, left shoulder, head, and then the right shoulder. Let me just zoom this in. I know this looks kind of crazy and it may be hard to see, but basically we have a high, we have a higher high, we have another high that is actually matched kind of with our left shoulder's high, and then we have this neckline here. Once we broke the neckline, we went down. So if I could take this and just transpose it over here so you can kind of get the idea. We have our left shoulder, our head. We're right here now. We could come up to make a right shoulder and then drop down. And with all the bearish technicals, that would just put us down to our 20 daily moving exponential average, or on this line here. So realistically, I think with the sideways trading we'll see plus the build back down, that we'll end up coming to probably around 11.1 right here, because that's our moving average is trying to accommodate with the going down. So let me try and draw a line here. And now let's take a measured move of here to, we'll call the neckline there, right? So if this was indeed that, and we come down to the neckline, just to show you, look at where we would end up. We would drop down to touch our moving average, which would also put us at the bottom support of this ascending triangle, and it would also confirm like a head and shoulders pattern, which is a bearish pattern, which would come down. We have really strong support at 11.1. So that's honestly kind of what I think is going to happen in the short term. Could I be 100% wrong? Yeah. I'm trading on the 4-hour right now, and then using the 15-minute to help me dictate highs and lows right now. But we have a huge wick up to the top here, which means the buyers were not there at all. So we came down. So on XRP, I actually shorted right at this point, and I wrote it down to about here quick 150 XRP. So I definitely think that we're going to trade sideways right here. We may retest the 11.5 again, but in the end we will come down. And why? Well, we just can fill this gap right here. Look at that. It's at 11.3 to 11.1. So if we come back here, oops, 11.1, we get down to here, we're still above our moving average, we're still bullish, and then that gives us time to see what happens with stimulus, gives us time to see what's going to go on with the world and whether or not we need to be scared, more lockdowns, things like that. So that's where I'm at. Any type of short trades right now, I would definitely be very cautious with, low leverage. That way you could keep a stop, you know, way up here so you don't get stopped out. If you are trying to trade this down, if you're trying to trade it up, again, you know, we have broken through these moving averages really easy to get caught by the other one. So the only safe bet would be way down here, and at that point you're not going to make much. So right now I would say just wait. HODL, dollar cost average, is going to be your best bet at this point. Just a quick look at XRP. Again, with the head and shoulders, you know, I saw this on XRP. I posted it on Twitter. You know, this is on the daily. You know, we have two specific points here. Let me keep this in line with the neck. There we go. We got some lows here that are exactly matched at 0.229-ish, right around 23 cents. Our head goes all the way down to 21.66. And look at this neckline. We have just been creeping on up there, just creeping as high as we can to this swing point, and we're struggling. Lots of indecision. You can see these long wicks both down and up. You know, we had one here that was, you know, a reverse hammer, which should have set us to go down, but we did it again. So right now, lots of uncertainty. XRP is waiting on Bitcoin to see what happens. Bitcoin continues to trade sideways. I can easily see XRP having a nice huge pump from here. Let's go to the neckline from this drop. All right, just to give us an idea-ish. Right, so what does that put us at? 30 cents, you know, and I called that in my Twitter. So, you know, if this is the bottom indeed, which I really hope it is, a nice long position on XRP from here to 30 could make you a ton of money. And, you know, you could easily put your stop loss, if you wanted to ride it out a long time, pretty low on low leverage. If you want to just ride this little pump out, just do like a 3 or 4 to 1, get your wick just below here, so 24.50. And go from there. So that's what I would say on here, but it's really hard to trade XRP and other stuff when you're waiting on Bitcoin to decide what it's going to do. So let's keep an eye on that. We'll see what happens from here. Did I have any other charts to show? Oh no. So here, so I said I think we're going to come here. We'll trade sideways. We'll eventually come back down to retest this. We'll fill that one gap. If we hear some bad news, we're going to drop below this support and most likely fill this gap all the way down to here. In that bearish scenario, I do see us getting bought up really, really, really fast. If you'd like to see more price targets and things like that as far as the real bearish signals, just let me know. Hop in the Discord. The link is in the description. I am going to be streaming live on Twitch later today, where I'll try to come up with some tactics and strategies for you as far as some short-term trades to make money. A couple of scalping strategies that I've learned with over the years, some forex strategies, things like that, just to help build your arsenal up. So if you're really interested in that, said come in, ask me any questions. If I don't know what it is, I will look it up for you. We'll figure it out together. You know, we're starting to build a really cool community. And I said I've got Melody here to help me if I need anything, Sky and Ronnie. So we have a whole crew here if you guys have any questions. But again, please like the video, tell your friends, family. I will be doing a giveaway at the end of the week, so please stay tuned, you know, comment on the videos. So I guess for this one, let me know what else I can do to make this channel better, and just put it in the comments for me. All right, you guys take it easy, and I'll catch you in the next video.